everyone. You may have people talking about coronavirus or COVID-19, and you might be wondering what on earth it is. So, viruses are really tiny particles. They are so tiny we cannot see them. So, they are visible to us, but viruses can actually make us sick. Bats are actually a natural reservoir for many viruses. So, the virus can actually replicate inside the bat without making it sick, and then the bat pass it on to other animal, and then finally that get passed on to human. And then it's what happened in Wuhan, China. For your information, the common system of coronavirus is fever, sore throat, coughs, and some shortness of breath. After the first person was infected, the virus passed from person to person by people coughing and sneezing. Did you know that in just one course, it can spread 3,000 droplets that can go all over the place? If you get smacked in the face by someone close, you can get a direct transmission of the virus. But if it lands in the air, the virus can land on the particle and stay floating there for up to 3 hours. And then next, if it goes onto a cardboard box, it can last there for about 24 hours. And then, if it goes onto plastic, it can be there for 2 to 3 days. So let's say you get in touch with the virus and then you rub your face and then you get infected. So at the beginning, when the virus is replicating, you don't actually have any symptom yet. And this is called the incubation period. It is different for a lot of different viruses, but in the case of coronavirus, the incubation period is in 4 days. In 4 days, when you are being infected, but you don't have any symptom yet. But after in 4 days, you will get a symptoms treatment. You must get a treatment immediately.
How to prevent COVID-19 from spreading? First, quarantine yourself if you have just returned from a risky country, and please refer to a nearby clinic if you experience symptoms such as a cough, fever, and cold. Second, wear a face mask but do not use a face mask repeatedly. Third, stay at home to avoid infections. Fourth, keep a distance of 1 meter if you need to go out, such as buying a necessities and or to work.
The effect of COVID-19 towards economy in Malaysia. The Malaysian economy contracted 17.1% in the second quarter of 2020 from a 0.7% growth in the first quarter. Bank Negara Malaysia said the decline reflected the unprecedented impact of the stringent containment measures to control the COVID-19 pandemic globally and domestically. In Malaysia, the Nationwide Movement Control Order (MCO) included various measures that restricted production and consumption activities. Additionally, Bank Negara said there was a marked decline in tourism activity due to international border closures and restricted interstate travel. On the supply side, most economic sectors registered negative growth, while most expenditure components declined. On a quarter-on-quarter seasonally adjusted basis, the economy contracted by 16.5%. During the quarter, headline inflation was at negative 2.6%, mainly due to substantially lower retail fuel prices compared to last year and the tiered electricity tariff rebate. Core inflation moderated slightly to 1.2%. Bank Negara said the second quarter, the ringgit has appreciated by 0.5% against the US dollar, following the resumption of non-resident portfolio inflows as investor sentiment and risk appetite improved. This was due to the quick implementation of large-scale liquidity injections and policy responses by central banks and governments. Additionally, investor sentiments were also supported by the gradual easing of movement restrictions in several countries. This development is in line with regional currencies, which also appreciated against the US dollar during the quarter. However, Bank Negara said the global environment remains highly uncertain in the near term, which may lead to capital flows and exchange rate volatility going forward.
As we all know, we are facing a global crisis that is COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic, one of issues that killing a lot of people, spreading human suffering and unpending people lives, and more to help crisis, and also economic and social issues. I am focusing on social issues. COVID-19 has affected day by day in people's daily life. We cannot do anything just like before. First, in social, such as service sector is not being able to provide their proper service. And we also facing a stress among us, among all of people in Malaysia or in the world. We also do social distance with our peers and family members and everyone wherever we go, such as mall or restaurant. We always do 1 meter social distancing to others. We argue social distancing can stop spread of infection and slowly the progress of the current pandemic.
COVID-19 has spread in Malaysia. So how Malaysia handle this COVID-19? Number 1 is the donation and organization play their roles. Many of volunteer organizations help out during COVID-19. For example, Inuit provide healthcare workers with food and medical supplies. Number two is the doctor. Dr. Nur Hisham has been ranked one of the top doctors in the entire world at fighting COVID-19. He is not only does he present accurate facts, he is able to do it in a way that gathers support and also keeps people calm as he does it. The third one is movement control order, and the enhanced movement order has been applied in Malaysia. These things are not to pull off, and it took so many people and different organizations to work together to have that work. The next one is Malaysia has the indirect volunteers. There are so many people that help out and volunteer and did so many different things like food delivery. For example, Ustad Abid Liu. Number 5 is Malaysia government built a temporary hospital. Malaysia was able to build a temporary hospital very quickly and efficiently to make sure the COVID-19 survivor can be in one place at certain areas. The education minister also allow a university to give opportunities to students to stay free and provided them food as well in college. The next one is people who has returned back to Malaysia should be quarantined at least 2 weeks. They will be provided free food, hotel, and COVID-19 testing during their 2 weeks quarantine. As a conclusion, the most important thing how Malaysia handled the COVID-19 is teamwork. It didn't matter your social status, it didn't matter your gender, your religion, or your ethnicity. All Malaysians came together for the better of Malaysian.